Stop before you even think about clicking away. Ask yourself one question. Do you truly believe it is a mere coincidence that this video appeared on your screen at this exact moment? If you are an adult, if you carry the weight of responsibilities, bills, and the future of your family on your shoulders, then you have clicked on the most important video of your year. This isn't just another random upload. I believe Jesus has placed this video in your path today for a reason. He has brought this truth to you to ensure that your future is financially secure and to protect you from the poverty trap that is claiming millions of lives every day. Listen closely. If you skip this video, if you ignore the message hidden within these minutes, you are potentially throwing away millions in future wealth that you will never be able to recover. You are looking at the thin line between a life of struggling for pennies and a life of absolute abundance. This script is the wall between your bank account and total financial ruin. There is a lie being fed to you every single day by your HR department, your bank, and the evening news. They paint a picture of gray skies and shrinking wallets, telling you to hoard every penny just so you can survive the winter of your life. But what if I told you that while the masses are paralyzed by the fear of their bank accounts hitting zero, there is a tiny, elite, and silent group of retirees who are actually getting wealthier every single minute they spend not working? They aren't clocked into a 9-to-5. They aren't staring at flickering spreadsheets or answering to a middle manager. They are on remote golf courses, waking up in mountain cabins, or exploring the hidden corners of the globe, and yet their net worth is exploding higher and faster than it ever did during their 40-year careers. Why? Because they discovered a glitch in the global financial system that the middle class is never supposed to find. If you don't understand the mechanical shift that happens the moment you exit the workforce, you are walking straight into a trap where inflation will liquidate your life's work and leave you with nothing but regret. But if you can see the invisible gears I'm about to reveal, retirement won't be the end of your wealth. It will be the exact moment your fortune finally goes vertical. I'm Mia, and today I'm going to expose the dark reality of why the average person goes broke in their 60s and the mathematical cheat code that allows the smart ones to double their millions after they quit. But before we dive into the numbers, I need you to understand something much deeper. The human element. The true measure of wealth is not your net worth. It is your time. For your entire working life, you have been trading your limited time and your life energy for a fixed amount of depreciating paper. Think about that for a moment. All those missed family dinners, the stress that followed you home, the sacrifices you made to climb the corporate ladder, what was it all for? If the answer is just to survive until you are too old to enjoy your money, then you are trading an irreplaceable treasure for a pocket full of change. The wealth we are talking about today, the retirement wealth explosion, is not an end in itself. It is the ultimate expression of human freedom. It is the ability to regain control over your time, your relationships, and your entire existence. This is not just a financial script. It is a blueprint for reclaiming your life. Most people are under the delusion that a high salary is the ultimate path to freedom. It's not. A salary is a tether. It is a sophisticated trade of your limited life energy for a fixed amount of depreciating paper. The fear you should be feeling right now isn't about the possibility of losing your job. It's about the fact that as long as you have that job, you are the most heavily taxed and exploited entity in the modern economic landscape. You are a tax harvest for the state. They take your Social Security, your Medicare, and your income tax before the digital ink on your paycheck is even dry. You are working from January until May just to pay for the right to exist in the system. But here is the curiosity-inducing secret that changes everything. The moment you stop earning a salary, you effectively fire the government as your majority partner. In the world of the wealthy retiree. There is no such thing as income. There are only distributions by surgically manipulating where their cash flow originates, balancing a mix of Roth accounts, brokerage funds, and strategic long-term capital gains. The elite retiree can often maintain a $200,000 lifestyle while paying an effective tax rate lower than the person serving them coffee. This isn't just a minor savings. It is a massive structural and legal advantage that remains completely invisible to the working class. You've been conditioned to fear the day the paycheck stops. But for those who understand the math, that is the day you finally stop being a tax slave and start being a sovereign wealth creator. But taxes are only the first predator. The second is what I call the work-life friction. Have you ever truly calculated the cost of being an employee? Most people haven't. They look at their gross pay and feel a sense of accomplishment, ignoring the convenience bleed that is hollowed out by their career. Think about the friction of your current existence. The expensive $80,000 SUV you bought primarily to look professional in the office parking lot. The $5,000 spent annually on a wardrobe of suits and shoes required to look the part. The money evaporated every year on takeout, prepackaged every year on takeout, prepackaged meals, and overpriced lattes simply because you are too mentally exhausted from 10-hour days to boil water at home. This is the time poor tax. When you are tethered to a desk, your time is so scarce that you are forced to buy it back at a massive premium. The curiosity here lies in what we call the surplus shift. When you retire, that friction doesn't just reduce, it craters. The car that used to need a replacement every 3 years because of the grueling commute now lasts a decade. The wardrobe is replaced by high-quality, long-lasting comfort. The $15 rushed lunches are replaced by nutrient-dense, home-cooked meals that cost a fraction of the price. This isn't penny pinching or living a life of scarcity. It is a massive structural realignment of your capital. If your investment portfolio was built during your working years to sustain a high-friction, high-cost lifestyle, and you suddenly switch to a low-friction, high-efficiency retired life, you have created a massive, gaping canyon of excess cash. That surplus doesn't just sit in a stagnant savings account. It goes back into the market. It buys more shares. It acquires more real estate. It compounds, it grows. You aren't getting richer because you're working. You're getting richer because you've finally stopped paying the performance tax of being an employee. This brings us to the tipping point that should keep you awake at night, either with a sense of pure adrenaline or a cold chill of realization. It's a phenomenon called escape velocity. For 30 or 40 years, you've been planting seeds in the dark. You put money into a retirement account every month, and for the first decade, it felt like absolutely nothing. It felt like watching a glacier move. But there is a mathematical transition that occurs for the disciplined investor around the age of 60. It's the math of the large, and it is the most powerful force in the universe. Imagine you have built a $2.5 million portfolio in a standard, healthy market year with an 8% return. That portfolio generates $200,000 in growth. Now look at your life. With your mortgage paid off, your work tax gone, and your children independent, you might only spend $90,000 a year to live like a king. That means, without lifting a single finger, without answering a single email, you have just added $110,000 to your net worth in a single year. You spent 12 months traveling, dining at the finest restaurants, and making memories with your family, and you ended the year significantly wealthier than you started it. This is the secret snowball that the banking industry doesn't want you to focus on. They want you to keep your money in low-yield safety accounts where they can use your capital to make themselves rich. But the wealthy know that retirement is the time to take the brakes off. It is the time to let the snowball turn into an avalanche that consumes everything in its path. We've talked about the taxes you'll stop paying and the friction you'll stop feeling. But now we need to talk about the big moves, the strategic shifts that take a comfortable retirement and turn it into a multi-generational empire. The first, and perhaps most misunderstood, is what I call the downsizing dividend. For 40 years, your home has been your sanctuary, the place where you raised your family and built your memories. But from a purely cold, financial perspective, that large family home is a dead asset. It sits there, soaking up property taxes, demanding $10,000 a year in maintenance, and requiring a massive amount of energy to heat, cool, and clean. The elite retiree looks at that home and sees a mountain of trapped equity. When the kids are gone and the career is over, they make the power move. They sell the $900,000 family fortress and move into a high-end, efficient, and modern condo or a smaller home in a lower tax jurisdiction for $500,000 in that one single afternoon at the closing table. They have unlocked $400,000 in liquid cash, often completely tax-free thanks to the primary residence exclusion. But they don't spend that $400,000 on a depreciating asset. They pour it into the market at a conservative 7% return. That has just started paying them an extra $28,000 a year in pure mailbox money. Not only that, but their monthly bills just dropped by $1,500 because the new place is smaller and more efficient. This is how you get richer by living better. You've traded a liability for a massive, cash-flowing asset. Then there is the healthcare hedge. One of the biggest fears keeping people tethered to a desk is the terrifying cost of medical insurance. Between the ages of 55 and 64, a private insurance plan for a couple can easily exceed $2,500 a month. That is a $30,000 annual burn just to stay covered. But the moment you hit 65 and Medicare kicks in, that massive financial weight is lifted. While Medicare isn't free, the transition from private marketplace insurance to government subsidized healthcare is essentially a $20,000 to $25,000 annual pay raise that no one talks about. In the world of wealth, every dollar you don't spend is a dollar that stays invested. By stabilizing your healthcare costs, you free up your portfolio to stay aggressive, allowing your capital to compound while your peers are selling their stocks just to pay for a check-up. This brings us to the Social Security shield. Most people trash Social Security. They say it's bankrupt or a pittance, but the wealthy retiree sees it for what it truly is, a volatility buffer. Imagine the stock market drops by 20% in a single year. The average person panics because they have to sell their stocks at a massive loss just to buy groceries. But not you. Your Social Security check, which is guaranteed, inflation adjusted, and backed by the government, covers your base lifestyle. It covers the bread, the milk, and the lights. Because you don't have to touch your investments during a market crash. Your portfolio stays intact. You have the luxury of patience. You wait for the market to bounce back. And when it does, your wealth explodes upward because you never sold a single share at the bottom. Social Security isn't your retirement plan. It is the insurance policy that protects your millions. It allows your risk assets to stay in the game for decades, which is exactly where the $5 million and $10 million fortunes are actually made. Finally, we have to address the passion income paradox. The old image of retirement was someone sitting in a rocking chair, waiting for the clock to run out. That version of retirement is dead. Today's retirees are the most experienced, highly skilled, and well-connected people on the planet. And once the stress of the 9-to-5 is gone, many find that they actually want to work, but only on their terms. They consult for $300 an hour in their old industry. They turn a woodworking hobby into a boutique brand. They sit on boards. The curiosity here is that this passion income is pure, unadulterated profit, since your investments and Social Security already cover your life. Every single dollar earned from these projects goes straight back into your wealth pile. You are working for the joy of the craft, but the byproduct is that you are getting richer than you ever were when you needed the money. This is the ultimate financial flex, the ability to earn money without the desperation of needing it. So, why are you still afraid? Is it because you were told a story that wasn't true? You were told that retirement was a cliff. I'm telling you, it's a launch pad. If you have been diligent, if you have been disciplined, and if you understand the invisible mechanics of taxes, friction, and compounding, then your best financial years aren't behind you, they are standing right in front of you. The retirement ghost is a lie designed to keep you working, keep you consuming, and keep you afraid. But you know better now. You see the gears. You understand the math. And most importantly, you know that the greatest wealth of all is the freedom to wake up every morning and realize that your money is working harder for you than you ever worked for it. I'm Mia. Thank you for staying until the end. If this video changed the way you see your future, hit that like button and subscribe to join the elite group of architects who are building a life of true abundance. Your journey doesn't end here. It's only just beginning. I'll see you in the next one.